In a bustling corner of the city, Jack's family lived a seemingly peaceful life. Jack's older brother, David, had married the charming and elegant Ellie. From the moment she entered the family, Ellie's warmth and cheerful personality quickly made her beloved by all, especially by Jack, who was still in university at the time. She showered him with kindness, asking about his day, sharing stories, and offering a sense of comfort that Jack had never experienced before. As time passed, Jack's feelings for Ellie began to change subtly. Every time she smiled at him or engaged in conversation, his heart raced uncontrollably. Ellie, too, began to notice that her heart fluttered whenever they spent time together. The chemistry between them grew, though neither acknowledged it at first. One weekend, David left early for a business trip, and Jack and Ellie were left alone at home. The atmosphere between them was charged with an unspoken tension. Ellie, wearing loose, casual clothes, moved around the kitchen with her hair casually falling around her face. Jack couldn't help but watch her, captivated by the sight. As the evening progressed, a few glasses of wine loosened their inhibitions, and the unspoken tension erupted. The forbidden attraction between them boiled over, and they crossed a line they never intended to. The morning after, both of them were overwhelmed with guilt and confusion. They tried their best to hide it in front of David, but whenever their eyes met, they could see the panic and regret reflected in each other's gaze. Despite his busy work life, David began to notice the strange, heavy atmosphere at home, making him suspicious. Days passed, and the emotional weight of their secret became unbearable. Jack decided to leave the country to study abroad, hoping that distance would help him escape the torment of his feelings. On the eve of his departure, Ellie came to his room to say goodbye. They stood there in silence, both unsure of what to say, when David suddenly entered the room. Seeing the scene before him, David's face turned red with anger, and he lunged at Jack. In the ensuing struggle, Jack accidentally pushed David, and David hit his head against the corner of a desk, blood pouring out as he fell unconscious. Jack and Ellie rushed David to the hospital, but it was too late. David's injuries were too severe, and he died. Jack was charged with manslaughter and sent to prison, while Ellie was left drowning in guilt, mourning David's death in isolation. 3 years later, Jack was released from prison. Filled with remorse, he returned home only to find that Ellie had vanished. Desperate, he asked around and learned that after David's death, Ellie had left the city. Holding on to a sliver of hope, Jack traveled to her hometown in search of her. At her old house, he discovered a diary hidden away. The contents of the diary shocked him to his core. It turned out that David had always known about the growing tension between Jack and Ellie. He had been torn between his love for Ellie and his anger toward his brother's actions. To end the inappropriate relationship once and for all, David had orchestrated a business trip, hoping that Jack and Ellie would be left alone, thinking that they would stay within moral boundaries. But David had been wrong, things spiraled into disaster, and in the end, he had paid the ultimate price. Jack sat on the floor, the diary in his hands, as tears blurred his vision. He never could have imagined that this forbidden love, which seemed like a fleeting, passionate mistake, was the cause of such a complex, devastating truth. A once happy family had been torn apart, and the price of their mistakes was far greater than any of them could have anticipated.